Welcome to the Millennial Life Coaches Podcast. At MLC, our mission is simple: add value to help you take on massive action towards your life goals. Here, we feature amazing coaches from all over the world, share compelling stories, and discuss proven practices to help keep your energy high and in the flow. Learn more about MLC at millenniallifecoaches.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of How to Get Ahead with Millennial Life Coaches. I am Tanya, your host, and I am here today with the amazing Syreeta, and she has some really juicy stuff that she's going to share with us. So she is a singles coach, but focuses on dating and relationships. So welcome to the show. First and foremost, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm very excited about this. Look, you could tell because I'm trying to get my words out.
She's already so much to say. Well, in that case, let's not wait. Let's just dive into the juicy details. So first and foremost, you focus on dating and relationship. I got to know, how did you get into this?
Well, I got into this. Actually, I've always had a deep desire when it came to dating and relationships. I used to love watching Sex and the City. So I liked Carrie Bradshaw, and I just wanted to be her. I was like, oh, I want to write, and I was also a journaler. So I was one who loved to give advice about dating relationships, even as a young child. I remember Jerry Springer was out during the time. So I had pretend I was a talk show host. It was just, yeah. So that's where it started with me, just the desire to just make it fun, just really talking about dating relationships. So that's what I would say.
So it's been an inner calling since a kid. That's the best.
Yes.
You know it, right? So I like what you just said there. So I'm going to segue into that. Make it fun. That I think is a huge thing, because when it comes to today's dating, especially in 2025, it's very tedious, and there's times where you're just do I have to do this again? So how do you make it fun?
I would say how I made fun, and honestly, of course, as I got older, it wasn't fun anymore because I became an adult. But I started realizing after I took some time to heal and to develop and really understand what I really wanted, it was dating did become fun, in my 20s. And reason being because I took it seriously because I was ready to settle down and be with someone. But it was almost okay, that person isn't it. Let me just move forward. And I was learning, so sometimes as we're dating and as we're really serious, we really want somebody, we start to get frustrated. So I realized what's the point of even getting frustrated anymore? I want to be an expert at this. I want to have fun in this. And I did. I enjoyed it, of course, until you meet someone that you think is it and they're not. I think that's the part that wasn't really fun, but just going on a date, dressing up, meeting new people. And I know that was for me. I love, even to this day, meeting new people. So that was the part that I realized that was fun. Just getting dressed and going out and just meeting new people, learning about them, having conversations with them, was very important. So that's what I would say. That was the fun part. Mm-hmm.
So then you focus primarily on singles, helping them find their person, or more couples helping them strengthen their bonds?
Oh, that's really good. Right now it's singles helping them find their person, but I also know that I can help couples strengthen their bonds as well, because right now I'm going on 8 years of marriage, and a happy marriage to be exact, and healthy marriage. So I do believe I can help couples as well. Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to start with the single side. I'm probably going to ask you about both because I just love this topic. What advice would you give for your single listeners out there on how they can get started meeting the right person? Because you mentioned doing the work and doing the healthy stuff, so it's a healthy relationship versus repeating the old patterns. What
Exactly.
advice would you give someone who's out there looking to meet their person?
I would say do it on your own terms. Don't allow other people to put pressure on you to tell you, oh, you look so alone, you look so by yourself. If that's the season and the time you're in where you're getting to know more of yourself, and I call it self-discovery, and just really taking the time to love on yourself first, then that makes that relationship and that dating process more worthwhile instead of you just hopping in it because you either feel alone or you just feel the pressure of being single. And that's something about me. I enjoyed being single before I met my husband. So I'm not at that place like, woulda, shoulda, coulda. Like, no, like I enjoyed being single and being on my own so much so that, yeah, it makes my marriage so worthwhile. So that's what I would say.
I really love that, because I find as time goes on and the older we get, if we still haven't met that person, a lot of people fall into that, well, where is this person? Like, where is she? Where is he? And then you get that impatient vibe and all the things. So what advice would you give to somebody who's kind of in that, like, I get that I need to enjoy it, yet I feel like I'm missing out on something?
That's really good, because that's where I was at some point. I was like, where is this person at? So for me, I would say I just began to realize the importance of focusing, just really focusing on my personal goals. At the time I was finishing up massage therapy school. So the more I was focused on my personal goals and what I had going on, the less I was worried about, when the person was coming. And I want to say that because when my husband showed up, it was like, are you serious? Like, I'm really enjoying this vibe I'm in where I'm in my career now and I'm happy. So it just got to that place like I was afraid that feeling I had was going to disappear. So that's just how much like I was invested in myself. So if you feel like it's time for you to go to school or do anything like that, but you really want somebody, I would say change your focus on doing just that. And I would say the best type of relationship to be in is the one where you're not looking. And I'm really talking about the women, where you're not looking, you're not focusing on what you don't have. Because when it shows up, it's going to show up here, and it's going to show up in a way that like, oh, wow, this is really here, so it's better that way.
Do you find that most of those, especially from the women's point of view, show up kind of in our day-to-day lives, or do you promote and utilize, say, dating apps for people?
So I don't have any dating apps right now, but yes, that's what I do. Definitely give advice and help those, like if I'm in a coaching session or something like that. And you'll be surprised, like the ones who say they really want someone, I will ask them the question, like, where do you see yourself 6 months from now? And guess what they say? Either they want to get a house, or either they want to pay more attention to their self-care and just really loving on themselves more. And it's like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. So that helps them to refocus, like, whoa, wow, I'm not even really, done with getting myself together before I can be with anyone. So yeah.
I like that. So shift the focus to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then once you've met your person, how do you maintain and strengthen that relationship?
So when you meet that person and you maintain and strengthen that relationship by still doing what you've been doing for yourself, and reason being, because I know my husband, he does this with me. When he realized I have like an attitude or something like that, he's like, have you done anything for yourself this week? And it draws me back to the time like, man, when I was single, that's what I was doing. Like, just because you're with someone, that doesn't mean you have to let that part of you go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can still bring that along with you, because no matter you get married or you have a relationship and you have children, you have to have something that you can fall back on that gives you energy, that gives you that push, that gives you that determination to just keep going. So that's why I was just like, wow, good I prepared that way. Because now, I'm not like under him as though I'm trying to really pull from him and I have nothing. So I have to have something to give even to him. So that's where it starts.
I love that. Yeah. So what would be the biggest piece of advice you could give to clients that are currently in a relationship?
I would let them know it's very important to have healthy communication with the person that they're with, and really checking in every now and then. I know usually holidays, or you could even do before then when you go on a date, check in and see how your relationship is going, because you'd be surprised, like you don't know how the other person is feeling. And then that way you all can work together on making that relationship better.
Yeah, I think communication is so important when it comes to a relationship. It's kind of like when we communicate with ourselves, right? If we're not having that good internal dialogue, how do we have it with anyone else?
Yes, that's true.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so say a client comes to you and they start working with you. What can they expect in terms of either meeting their person or strengthening their relationship? What are some tips or advice or just takeaways that our audience can hear that might get them set up in the right direction? / what would you do with your clients that our listeners might be like, you know what, she's the girl to help me find my person?
Mm-hmm. I would say usually how my sessions go, I get to know what they're in need of help in, because I can go in and give all the advice that sounds good, right? But how is it going to benefit them? How is it going to help them? So once I get to know them, and that's usually like the self-discovery like call, pretty much the intro and knowing who they are, the discovery call, that gives me a chance to know what their need is. And then from there, I also do assessment. So I also have a finding the right one assessment, because that's where it started with me. I wanted to be with the right one. And so they'll answer the questions. I think it's like 14 questions, just to see like where they're at in their confidence, like confidence building, self-discovery, like I mentioned earlier, as well as dating strategies. You'd be surprised how so many people, they don't even know how to date and probably haven't dated in a while. And yeah, pretty much those are the things. And communication, mindset and communication is very important, because we have to have a positive mindset when we're going out there and we're dating and really looking for the right person. So those are the things they would expect from me. And we go from there. And then the type of sessions, I do one-on-one sessions right now. I know the couples will come soon, but I really want the individual to focus on themselves first. And that's what I realized my journey was like. And then from there, I also had a customized. So that's what that is. It's called customized. And I also have a 13-week program. So anybody who's interested and actually like really, I want to journey along, or I want you to journey along with me during this process, I offer that too. So yeah.
Oh, I love it. I feel like I really like that, because a program and like guidance along the journey is fantastic. Like I've seen so many like master classes advertised lately that I feel like, hey, cool, I can listen to something for 90 minutes, but the follow through and the action step is so critical when it comes to stuff like this, especially because you mentioned something earlier, the dating strategy. I'm assuming that I could be wrong, listeners. If I am, I'm sorry. But like most of us, that thought never crossed my mind when it came to dating. Like I never thought of it as a strategy. So it's that a lot of people don't do that. And yet there is, you're right, a whole strategy behind going out and meeting the right person.
Yeah, I believe it's all about what the person wants. So it is a such thing to date to have fun. That's how some people view. And then it's the ones that's like, okay, I'm tired of having fun. I'm ready to meet the right person or the one. So now I actually need help with this. So yeah, that's why that's important to have.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Strategy, so important. Okay, now you got my wheels spinning. Go ahead here.
And preparation. So
Okay.
I look at it like this: if you're buying a new car or anything that's valuable to you, you're not just gonna go and just choose a car and drive off with it, right? You're gonna want to know the details. You're gonna want to know the mileage. You're gonna want to know, is that color the one I want? So you're gonna want to know the details. So it's like that with dating someone too. You don't want to just be in a relationship with any person, you know.
Definitely.
That's how I look at it.
I feel like we all go through our fair share of those throughout our lives.
Yes, yes.
I love it. Okay, so how would our listeners get a hold of you if they would like to start investing deeper into their dating life?
Okay, so they can honestly contact me. I have WhatsApp, so they can contact me at 773-704-5241. That's how I usually talk to my clients. And then also, I do have social media pages on LinkedIn under Singles Coach Syreeta, as well as Instagram as Singles Coach Syreeta on there as well. So that's how you all will find me.
Perfect. And I'll make sure that those are all in the show notes below. So listeners absolutely can come get advice. What other advice before we wrap up here? Anything else that you want our listeners to know?
I want to say take your time. Take your time. Don't rush the process. I know you want someone. I know you want that beautiful wedding. I know you want to have that beautiful family, but take your time so that when you do meet that person, it'll just happen organically without you even forcing anything.
Good. My heart is full right now. I love it. Okay, well, definitely make sure that you check her out. She obviously is very talented at what she does. And for our singles out there, she can help you meet that person. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, my dear. This has been such a beautiful conversation. Super, super grateful.
Welcome. You are welcome. Thank you for this opportunity to share with you.
And I will see you all on our next episode of How to Get Ahead with Millennial Life Coaches.
Nice. Bye, everybody.